Hey, what's good, everybody? This is Adnan Rady in the clutch, and I want to talk about a trade that just happened late last night while we were all asleep, and happened around 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's none other than James Harden finally getting traded to the LA Clippers. And the full trade breaks down to this. The Clippers obviously receive James Harden, PJ Tucker, and Philip Petrusev, and the 76ers receive Nick Batum, Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, KJ Martin, a 2028 first-round pick, future first-round pick from a third team, 2 second-round picks, and a pick swap. And when looking at this, not necessarily here to make a hot take, but just like analyzing like the context between what's going on with James Harden and what's going on like with the 76ers from both sides of the equation. I want to say that the 76ers, I believe, won this trade, which I will break down a little bit later. But from the 76ers side, they got a young superstar, in my opinion, in the making, in Tyrese Maxey, who is putting up amazing like numbers. He just won Player of the Week, which I'm going to get to in my next video. And I believe he can make the same production and make up for the difference that James Harden would make while he was on the 76ers this past season. I believe Tyrese Maxey can step up in that role, and they can build the team around Joel Embiid and Maxey, because he has that sort of that like it factor. Like he has that like just that knack, that drive, that ability, where I saw him play before like at a Heat game, and I just like Tyrese Maxey. He just like does all the right plays. He brings a certain energy to that 76ers team. Like it's like I was like, after that game, I was like, this guy's gonna be a star. And we're seeing like with what's going on, like how he's blossomed, and like while James Harden was gone, trying to get this thing resolved, Tyrese Maxey has stepped up big time. And so it's right that the Sixers finally make this move. Just like, all right, here you go, Tyrese, you got the keys to the offense, you get to work with Joel Embiid. It's you two all the way. And they added a lot more depth to that roster. They brought back Robert Covington, who did play for the 76ers a few years back. Marcus Morris, he's a great defender, and he's really good to come off the bench. Nick Batum, he'll be a great veteran leader in the locker room, which I believe is very important. KJ Martin, he's a young guy who I believe can be a key piece for the Sixers rotation. And they got multiple draft picks out of it, which doesn't hurt at all, which they can use in further trades if they want to, whether add more depth or try to maybe get another star. So I believe this is a good deal overall for the 76ers. Now for the Clippers, I mean, we kind of seen this movie before with James Harden, as in the aspect that he's going to play with Russell Westbrook again. But we've already seen this a few years back when Russell Westbrook got traded to Houston, and it didn't work out for them. They only played, if I'm correct, 1 season together, as they did get bounced out by the eventual champion, the LA Lakers, in the bubble. And there was just like things weren't right between them, and then eventually they shipped out Russell Westbrook. So it just doesn't necessarily make sense to me that James Harden is now going back to playing with Russell Westbrook. But obviously both of them are older, they're not as productive or efficient as they were back then, a few years back. And also they're going to play with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, who they're amazing talents, don't get me wrong, but the problem is if I'm correct, the 5th season Kawhi Leonard and Paul George have been together, and they have not had a finals appearance to show for it, and they've always been like, one of them has been missing, or the other one has injury problems, or just resting, or whatever the case may be. I just don't understand what is Harden's desire to want to go specifically to the Clippers if I don't really see them as a championship threat, based on those reasons alone, that it didn't work out with Russell Westbrook before while you guys were younger and better. And Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, they great players, but they're not there all the time. I just don't see how this adds up to trying to win a championship if that's what James Harden is gunning for. I don't get it. And also, like, this is a very like this is a trade, I believe, that if one thing goes wrong, I believe this is going to blow up the Clippers, and they're going to be like completely screwed for the next 5 to 10 years, because James Harden, as soon as something doesn't work out for him, whether he doesn't get along with his teammates or doesn't get along with his coach, or just the fact that like if things out of his control don't go his way, whether injuries or just something happens or like the team chokes a lead, then I believe like James Harden, he's going to try to once again force his way out the Clippers, and it's just not going to be a pretty ending. And once again, they won't have anything to show for it other than maybe like maybe a first round exit. Maybe if everybody's healthy and they all get along and put their egos aside, I could see maybe a second round team. But I just don't see, like, even with all four of those guys, Westbrook, Harden, Leonard, and George, even if they all get along, put away their egos and just play the best team basketball, I don't see them getting past the Denver Nuggets. Maybe not. They can beat the Lakers. The Warriors, I mean, like, it's because the Warriors are also an aging team. I mean, it could go either way, but I would not discount Curry. And then also you got like young teams that are hungry and wanna win now, like teams like the Sacramento Kings and the Memphis Grizzlies, who they want their respect and they want to be taken seriously. And not to mention the Phoenix Suns, who are on a mission this year, who I believe have done amazing this past offseason. I just don't see the Clippers like necessarily in that same conversation to defeat whether a young upcoming team in the Kings or the Grizzlies, or defeat a powerhouse now in the defending champion Denver Nuggets and competing against maybe the Phoenix Suns. I just can't completely buy into that. So that's why like the Clippers is a very very dangerous trade. Like, it's just like anything can happen for this team to just completely fail miserably and just blown up, and they have no more assets, and they are basically like going to be one of the worst teams for the long-term future, unfortunately, if things do not work out with this trade. So that's my main concern for the Clippers, and especially if I'm a Clippers fan, I don't know if they've really gotten better, especially come playoff time. That's my concern with James Harden's history. But with that, I mean, I do have to mention this though, because somehow James Harden got traded to the Clippers, his preferred destination, even though a few days ago Adrian Wojnarowski did say that the Clippers and the 76ers have stalled trade talks, and now all of a sudden James Harden, he got traded to the Clippers, which I still can't believe, especially with how he handled himself. I just want to know, like, as a Miami Heat fan, how is it possible that even someone like James Harden, who basically cried and whined his way out of Philly, and he's done it in the past with Houston to go to Brooklyn, and then Brooklyn to go to Philly, and now Philly to go to the Clippers, like, and we got so many other stars just demanding a trade request. I only want to go to this team, and they get their wish, like Anthony Davis to the Lakers, or I could just go on and on and on. It's like, it's really like unbelievable at this point. And yet the one guy who has been adamant about wanting to go to the Heat, Damian Lillard, he ended up going to a rival in the Milwaukee Bucks and did not get his way, which that to me did not make any sense. And I just don't know, like, I don't know if the league has a thing against the Heat. I don't know if the Heat are just sort of like, if Mickey Arison, Pat Riley, I don't know if those guys are maybe out of touch, because they've been like hunting after all these big names, all these superstars, and they somehow could not get the job done, despite guys like Kevin Durant, Donovan Mitchell, Bradley Beal, and Damian Lillard all saying they want to go on the Heat. That was on their short list. And even Bradley Beal, he was also adamant about wanting to go to the Heat, but the Heat were just like, we'll see. And they didn't get a trade done, and they ended up losing several of their players basically for nothing. So, and obviously Jimmy Butler, he's very frustrated about it. You know, like, as you know, we can kind of see him like hinting about, you know, him wanting to play with Damian Lillard, which is understandable. It's just like, I'm genuinely confused, like, and I'm really frustrated as a Heat fan. Like, how is it that all kinds of superstars, they can basically do all kinds of tactics, whether it be a professional about it, whether it's or even just be completely unprofessional and just like cause havoc on the team that they're currently with, just to end up on the exact same team they want to be on. But when it comes to the Heat, nope, that can't happen. Either the Heat don't want to make the move, or there's like an agenda to make sure this player does not go to the Heat. It's just, I don't understand. It's like really sad. As an NBA fan, like there's like a double standard going on, and as a Heat fan, it's very annoying and frustrating, like how we're seeing all this behavior going on around the rest of the league, but nothing is happening for the Heat, and they've basically been stuck with the same roster. And Jimmy Butler, he is getting older, and it's just not helping his case. So let me know what you guys think. Clippers fans, what do you guys think about this trade? Do you guys like it, or do you think this can go south real quickly? 76ers fans, do you guys are happy to just straight up get rid of James Harden, and you're able to like just build around Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey from here on out and get more depth? And Heat fans, please let me know what you guys think of seeing all this behavior and all these transactions going on in the rest of the league, and then meanwhile we're stuck with the same roster. So please let me know what you guys think down below. I certainly love to hear you guys out. Thank you all so much for your time. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Once again, I'm thankful for every single one of y'all. God bless, and talk soon.